Hello everyone, I welcome you all on my channel GS with RJA. When India stood at the edge of hunger and despair, one man vision lit the path of self-reliance. Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, celebrated as the father of Green Revolution in India, transformed the destiny of millions. But how did a boy from Kumbakonam, Tamil Nadu, grow up to become the architect of India's food security? Let's travel back in time to understand the story of India's Green Revolution. It was in 1960s. India was dependent on food aid, living almost hand to mouth on America's PL 480 wheat shipments. Drought in 1965 and 66 worsened the crisis. Famines were not just history, they were real, devastating, and staring India in the face. In fact, Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri had to give the call of Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, linking soldiers at the border with farmers in the field. India's biggest challenge was clear: how to feed its people. To understand the urgency, in 1947, India produced just about 50 million tons of food grains. By mid-60s, population has exploded, but food production was not keeping pace. India was importing nearly 10 million tons of food grains annually. At this rate, the dream of independence risked being crippled by dependence on foreign food. Meanwhile, in Mexico, American scientist Norman Borlaug was experimenting with dwarf varieties of wheat that gave higher yields and resisted diseases. This was the global spark, the scientific breakthrough that would later ignite India's Green Revolution. But it needed a visionary Indian scientist to adapt it to Indian soils, Indian climate, and Indian farmers. That man was M.S. Swaminathan. Dr. Swaminathan, working with Norman Borlaug and Indian Council of Agricultural Research, introduced high variety of wheat in Punjab, Haryana, and Western UP. The mid-1960s saw the first wave of large-scale trials and adoption. Farmers, initially hesitant, soon witnessed a miracle. Field that once gave 10 quintals now produce 30 quintals or more. Thus was born India's Green Revolution. The revolution was not just about seeds. It was about package. High-yielding varieties of wheat and rice, fertilizer and pesticide for boosting productivity, irrigation infrastructure, canals, tube wells and dams, credit and subsidies to support farmers, and of course, government procurement at MSP to give farmers confidence. It was a coordinated national effort, science policy and farmer courage coming together. The results were astonishing. Wheat production jumped from 12 million tons in 1965 to 55 million tons by 1990. India once was a begging bowl, became self-reliant. Punjab and Haryana became the model for food security, and India could finally say the nation can feed itself. But revolutions are never without shadows. The Green Revolution brought challenges: regional imbalance, ecological cost, groundwater depletion, monoculture of wheat and rice, and most importantly, small and marginal farmers often could not afford technology. The Green Revolution gave food but also sowed seeds of inequality and environmental strain. Dr. Swaminathan's legacy is enduring, from Green Revolution to Evergreen Revolution. He built institutions, inspired millions, and brought hope when there was hunger. Posthumously awarded the Bharat Ratna in 2024, he remained a guiding light as India and the world faced climate change, ecological imbalance, and food crisis.